Welcome everyone, friends and furs of all species. I'm Dayzee Hyena. We're back with another episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. Now, last time, we were jumped by a mysterious masked figure, who I think is the Dragon Jesus. We searched this park that it told us to go to, but I couldn't figure out what it wanted me to find. We got an orb the size of a bowling ball. I'm not sure where the hell we are keeping it, but, you know, I'm hungry. Let's order lunch. I remembered that Adine told me that the cafe did deliveries as well and did not have anything else better to do, so I figured I could try it out. I made an order with a quick phone call, and it wasn't long before the doorbell rang. Well, that was quick. It just so happened that Adine herself stood in the doorway, dripping wet with a damp container in her grip. Aw, was it raining? Aw, she's so cute. Oh, it's you again. I thought we're over this, but at least you don't reduce me to a species anymore. Likewise. Hey. Hey.
Hey. There's your order. Sorry you got a little wet, but it should still be okay.
What happened? Did you fall in a river or something? You're soaked. Why don't you come in? Thanks for... Yeah, you're soaked. Come on in.
Thanks. I was just about to ask you if I could stay a little while. It was actually my last delivery for the day, and I live on the other side of town.
Of course. I couldn't let you fly back. It's ugly when it's this ugly outside. Feel right at home. I better eat this before it gets cold. I sat down on the table and started eating my food while Adine decided to take a seat opposite of myself.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's actually quite good.
Do you have something similar where you're from?
We do. As a matter of fact, it's almost scary how close it is to what we have back at home.
Really? Maybe we all just share a similar taste.
Maybe there's more to it then.
What do you mean?
Well, don't trace your origin back to humans in some way? I know what kind of reputation we have in your culture.
That is true.
Let me ask you this. Where do you think the portal you found came from? Who built it?
Humans did it, of course.
Exactly. If you believe humans had something to do with an artifact created who knows how many years ago, it wouldn't be a stretch to think that they could have also influenced you in other ways.
Even something as simple as a dish. I like that idea.
So what do you do when you aren't working in the restaurant? Do you have a family?
Well, most of the time I take care of my kids. Oh, she has babies.
I want to see them. They should be so adorable. Oh, nice. How many children do you have?
They aren't my children, per se. I just take care of them.
You're more of a foster parent then?
Not quite. These are orphan children I'm talking about. I just volunteered to spend some time with them. So I'm really more of a babysitter and teacher all in one.
She is an amazing person and I love her.
I really can't take care of them 24/7 like a proper parent would. I'd love to, but I work far too much to be a single parent. With the amount of time I spend at the restaurant, I don't think the kids would be any better off, so I just help out whenever I can.
That's very nice of you.
Thanks. These kids already didn't get a very good hand in life. I just thought if I could make even a small difference for them, it'd be worth it.
I see. What about hobbies? Do you have any?
Can I ask a question for a change?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I don't know much about you. Actually, I'm not sure if there's anyone here who does.
What would you like to know?
What did you do before you came here?
What question? Avoid the question by making a bad pun. None.
None? What do you mean?
I mean, that's none of your business.
Okay.
I suppose it's my turn again. So tell me about your hobbies. That was kind of rude, though. I thought it was going to be silly. Sorry,
When I enjoy it the most is probably flying.
Just flying?
Well, it's not just flying. I do acrobatics or stunt flying. I've been doing that on and off for a couple of years now.
Must be the most overqualified delivery flyer. Yeah. Overqualified.
Actually, that might not be so far from the truth. I'm actually hoping to be part of a competition in some time.
So you could do that, but a little rain is too much. Are you that good? Awesome. Where can I watch that?
I suppose that depends on whether you will be here when it takes place. It's part of a festival we hold in town every year. Okay, since it's my turn again, well... This might be an unusual question, but when they say that a human would be coming here, I kind of expected something different.
Well, what did you expect?
I'm not sure exactly, but they do say it was humans that made us who we are today. You don't seem any different from us, though. I mean, yeah, you do look different from us, but you're not anything like some of the things that have been said about your kind.
I could say the same thing about you.
Really?
Yeah, we have plenty of myths about dragons.
Like what?
Man, they are pretty noble, but if we're gonna... Yeah, dragons are... They're often cited as a symbol of power and strength, but also one of wisdom, possessing an intellect that has no equal. They are noble creatures, and their depictions enjoy almost universal appeal.
I could get used to that, though it would be nicer if it was all true. To be honest, I don't know if it's such a good idea to generalize like that, even if it's a good thing that you're saying about us. Well, different you know, and not all of us are nice.
Trust me, we know.
I see. But then, we have said many good things about your kind too.
Well, no matter what you might think about humans, I can assure you I am no different. Well, no matter what you might think about humans, I can assure you I am no way special or supernatural.
I disagree with that.
Why?
You're saying that you aren't special, but just the fact that you're here with us right now is quite special to me and many others. Just try to see the other way around.
You know, you have a good point.
But what are you thinking when you first heard about us?
That was a joke, I was unsure. I thought it was awesome. I thought making a discovery like this was just awesome. Many people would love to have the opportunity I had by coming here.
I see, it's not so one-sided after all, so don't be surprised if some of us feel the same way.
And it's not just the discovery of dragons. We found the portal to an entirely different world. We still haven't figured that one out.
Neither have we.
I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
By the way, interesting selection of books you have there. Draconic Desire, Moxman Sphere, are these yours?
No, they were already here when I moved in.
Have you read any of them?
I did read Sheridan and the Scepter of Sovereignty.
How did you like it?
I loved it. It was fun.
I see. Or you've got The Prince and Prayer. You should totally read that one.
You think so? Why's that?
It's not just an interesting story, it's based on true events. The author is so right when he says that there's a lot we can learn from what happened back then.
I'll check it out if I have the... I'll check it out.
Let me know when you do. I've been interested in hearing what you have to say about it. Alright, since you asked about my family earlier, I'm going to do the same thing. Is there a Mr. or Mrs. Dayzee waiting for you back home?
No, can't say there is.
How about potential Mr. or Mrs. Dayzee? Are you looking to date anyone?
Maybe.
Come on, tell me.
There really isn't anyone. Yeah, there really isn't anyone. The last guy I was interested dumped me hard.
I see. Anyone on your radar at least? Someone you think is cute?
Not really. No,
not at all. I don't believe you. I think you just don't want to tell me. So who's the lucky person?
I'm not sure how many questions that was, but I'm sure it's not your turn anymore.
Are we even still playing this game?
So you started just having fun.
You and me both.
You know, why don't we make this a little more interesting while we're at it? Strip poker! I'm joking. You're already naked.
What do you suggest?
Truth or dare?
What's that?
We continue to ask questions, but if one of us doesn't want to answer the question, we have to do something the other person tells us to do.
I don't even know what kind of dare I would make her do.
It could be something that would make me uncomfortable or something you'd like to see me do.
Anything?
Well, keep in mind that revenge might come quicker than you think, so don't ask someone for anything you wouldn't do yourself.
Got it. So who's first?
You asked the last question, so it's only fair I start.
Alright.
What's your most guarded secret? What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you? That's always fun.
Let me think. It was this one time when I was still a teenager. I was messing around. I wanted to try out a new flying maneuver. A barrel! Needless to say, it ended up badly.
I guess you didn't succeed then.
No, the roll itself went fine, but I lost control after that and plunged right into the ground.
Oh, were you hurt?
No, luckily I wasn't too high when I did it. There was a great puddle of mud on the ground where I landed. Of course, all my friends were there to see it.
That wasn't enough to stop you from ever trying again?
No, if anything, it only made me want to try harder.
That's good. I like her so much.
So it is my turn now. What is your greatest wish?
World peace. To be the very best like no one ever was.
Ha ha! That seems to be a very personal wish, Dayzee.
Okay, my turn. What would you do? Are you scared of dying? What's your biggest... What would you do if you were invisible for a day?
Invisible, huh? That's a hard one. I mean, no one would see me flying then. And I do want people to see that.
Well, with this question, it's more about what would you do if you had the opportunity to do something without getting caught, like something mischievous or criminal.
Oh, I know what I would do. I'd check out the building they found with the portal.
What building?
You didn't hear about that? They found a whole building along with the portal. It's actually underground, and they have it heavily guarded where a team of archaeologists works on it. I think it might contain many secrets and answers about the portal and where it came from.
Interesting. I think I'd check that out as well.
If you knew the world was about to end, what would you do?
Enjoy life to the fullest, say my life's goodbye, hope for the best, stay outside and watch. Actually, I had a dream like this not too long ago, where an asteroid was coming to the Earth and I was at this ginormous fair. Everybody was running and screaming, and I was sitting on my picnic blanket watching this asteroid hit the Earth, because I knew no matter how fast I ran, no matter where I went, I was going to die. So I just sat there, watched it, and I knew if I was close to it, I would die very quickly. If I was further away, I'd probably suffer for a few months, because like clouds would cover the sky and the temperature, ice age, all that shit. So I just watched it kill me. So, let's go. Watch it happen.
That would be quite a show, huh?
It really was. If you could go back into my world right now, would you do it?
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's a very difficult question, you know. Of course I'd love to visit. Maybe as some sort of vacation, but if you're talking about permanently, I'm not sure I could just pack up and leave everything behind just like that. Alright. So, from those you have met so far here, which one do you fancy most?
I think I'll take a dare for this one.
Finally! What if I'm going to have you do?
Whatever you like.
No, honestly, I have no idea.
Take your time.
Alright, let me think for a minute.
Oh, it looks like it's getting late.
Wait, what time is it? Whoops, it seems like I've been here longer than I thought. I probably should be going now.
Seems like the rain has stopped too.
Yeah, that's great. You know, if you want me to come over again, you don't have to order anything to do it. Here's my private number.
I'll keep that in mind, thanks.
Bye.
Nothing going on today. I guess I could do whatever. Alright, that was really fun. I really like talking to her. We talked with Remy, we talked with Anna, we talked with the Dean. I'm gonna read, though. I'm gonna read that book. In the end, I decided to spend the day reading in my apartment. I really wasn't in the mood for anything complex, so I settled for the next entry, Sheridan's Adventure Series. Oh. By the time I finished the book, in which the Scepter of Sovereignty was preceded novel, is first stolen, then reclaimed by the novel's titular hero, only to be stolen again by another cliffhanger ending ploy, setting up the series' next entry, I wish I had spent time doing something more productive. I figured I might be able to go out and do something, but when I looked at the time, I regretfully realized that the day was already over and it was too late. Wait, why didn't I read the book that she just told me to read? I would have read that. Oh, shit. Oh. Grief. Suspicion. Oh, shit. Oh, are we collecting cards? Like, if we do the right thing? Shit. A morning sun declared the arrival of a new day and woke me from my vivid dreams. Memories of my home enclosed within the towering perimeter wall raced through my head. The peaceful landscape outside the apartment window stood in defiance of these old thoughts. Rolling hills and blue skies were familiar to me now, and the purity of the sight gave me hope. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dayzee, please come with me. What's going on? You sound serious. The chief will explain everything once we arrive. Okay. Hey, Chief, Dayzee's here.
Thanks, Sebastian. You can deal with the situation when I talk to Dayzee, alright?
Of course.
Dayzee, I've got the summary, but
oh my god, is Anna dead? What was it?
You're not Anna, right?
I knew it! Yes, I met her, yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to say this.
The words were enough. Dread sank in and I already knew.
Don't.
I ignored his words and walked past him. No. Anna. Oh, fuck. When I turned the corner, there was no mistaking her. Anna was haphazardly covered by a sheet, leaving her tail and a bloodshed hand exposed. In the end, she didn't even deserve full dislocation. We never even got to have our date. Man. Are you okay? I don't know.
Is there anything I can do?
Let's just get this over with. Bryce gave me a concerned look, but then nodded.
There's more to some bad news. The blood we found on the first victim in town matches the DNA evidence found on the second victim at the powder facility. Furthermore, the murder weapon and method appear to be the same across all three victims. That's going to be a big problem for you.
Why is that?
Because with these three murder, Reason now qualifies as a serial killer. We won't be able to keep the whole thing quiet for much longer. Higher authorities, including the Minutes 3 in charge of your whole visit, will know about this soon. I have no idea what would happen once they do.
I'm not sure what to say to that.
I don't want to worry you, but we can be sure that action would be taken soon. I've been considering this possibility for a while, and I think it might be best if you went back to your own world for now. This way, we can take action before the Ministry does, and before this all becomes public. If we wait, we don't know what they'll do or how the public will react. With everything going on, it's too dangerous for you to stay here.
No.
No.
This would be the worst possible time for me to leave. We've given up our PDAs and hardly have anything to show for it. We have several more generators. Let's not forget Riza's still missing. If I leave now, the only thing I return home with is my life. I'll have lost everything else. We need those generators, Bryce. I have no idea what your authorities will continue to uphold our deal or what they'll do, Riza, but I'm not leaving until this is over. If that is your decision, so be it. Anyway, let's get back on track. I got you here for a reason, Dayzee. In addition to the murder, several things were stolen, among them your PDAs, batteries, and some components used to build generators. Does that ring any bells? Not really. Riza might have some knowledge of electronics, but I doubt he has enough to assemble one of your generators, even if he has the parts. Strange. Even so, it's fair to assume Riza's involvement at this point. No one has a greater motive to steal the PDAs, especially after what happened between him and Maverick. Unless someone wanted to frame Riza in order to sabotage this whole operation. Do you really believe that? Hey, I'm just saying it's possible. I'll shelf that idea under possible but unlikely.
Hey, Chief, are we done here?
Pretty much. Why do you ask?
We just got a message from the higher up. You and Dayzee are to report to the Ministry of Culture and Arts immediately.
Immediately as in right now?
Yeah, apparently.
What's going on? To be frank, I don't know. This is an extraordinary situation. And now that it's getting out of hand, they must want to address it. So the worst possibility? Not going to be. So the worst possibility? If you expect the worst, at least you won't be disappointed. Sebastian, you can finish up here and go to the ministry once you're done. We'll probably have to make some arrangements after this meeting.
Sure thing, Chief.
Let's go then, shall we? It's not like we have a choice.
That was quicker than I expected.
I honestly don't remember what I did for her.
That was quicker than expected. I wouldn't have mind waiting out here a little longer.
Greetings, Minister.
Greetings.
Shall we go inside for our official business?
No, I've got everything I need right here. It gets stuffy inside on hot days. My assistant doesn't seem to mind, but I prefer fresh air. I'd rather just stay right here unless you have any objections.
I don't.
I see. Well, I know I haven't exactly been up to date in regards to Reason's sudden disappearance, but get the message today that he has confirmed serial killer was quite shocking. Frankly, I'm curious why the fact of this case has been withheld from me so long.
Simply because they weren't within your jurisdiction, these murders were strictly a police matter. Only with the amount of new evidence, namely the DNA and blood we found, and these 3 murders now being linked together, and him did your ministry have to become involved.
I see. So Reese's involvement is now undeniable.
I'm afraid so, Minister.
Facts are nothing to be afraid of, though in light of all this I'm starting to worry about my personal safety.
With our thick hides, I don't think our species has much to fear if we consider the murder weapon. I knew those back things! They have the same back things, so they must be apart. 3 spikes on the neck, 3 spikes on the neck, spike on the nose, thing on the back, white bellies. Okay.
Speak for yourself. Don't you think someone in my standing needs protection?
Well, for sure. If you're worried about personal safety, we can look into an escort for you.
Good. Considering all these murders took place at night, I'll certainly need it. Long days are an epidemic in my line of work. But that's enough about myself. We're now on the question of what should be done about Riza and Dayzee.
Minister, we continue our hunt for Riza every day. As a matter of fact, Dayzee has been helping us to do so for a while now.
Is that so? One human a murderer, another a detective. Interesting. How do you know Dayzee isn't following a similar pattern to Riza's, whatever that may be?
Similar concerns were leveled by Riza's escort Maverick. He was an overreaction that was caused Riza to run away in the first place.
Let the human talk for once, Chief. Please tell me, Dayzee, you and Riza came here on the same mission, and the situation has escalated beyond the expectations. What you tell me now will determine the actions I'll take in this matter. Maybe you should start by telling me your side of the events. From the beginning, Riza was fine during his earlier days. Things only went wrong after you arrived.
Opened my mouth, but Bryce spoke first, determined to defend me. Arguably, the problem that caused this were apparent even then.
How so?
Maverick suspected Riza of planning something, but he didn't think he had a case.
Well, did he?
No. What he had was a suspicion. The night he followed Riza, he found both him and Dayzee at their portal. The humans intended to send one of their promised generators through, but there was a confrontation that ended with both Maverick and Dayzee wounded, and Riza running away. Riza's been missing ever since.
I've read the reports already, Chief. The question is, did Maverick cause this, or did he just fail to prevent it?
I have no way of knowing that, Minister.
You just mentioned your apparent knowledge of problems back then.
Problems may have not been the right word. Let's just say Maverick's attitude was not helpful during that encounter.
Why did you choose Maverick as his escort in the first place?
Protection for human ambassador was my greatest concern. When I made that decision, Maverick was the most capable individual in that regard.
Well, that worked out nicely, didn't it? You also seem to think that Maverick shouldn't have remained Riza's escort. Is that true?
Yes. Had I paid more attention to their warning signs, this situation may have been avoided.
So you accept responsibility for the incident?
Yes, Minister.
I see. Now let us get back to the topic of Dayzee. Riza was your partner in humanity's mission. To come to this world. His list of criminal activities not only include murder, but theft of generators, electronic components, and the PDAs your people gave us. I understand why Bryce would reason that you could help with the investigation, but we have no choice but to be suspicious of Riza's partner. What is your motivation when you agreed to help us?
Bryce wouldn't let me say no. It's my best bet. Okay. It's my best bet at finding the truth.
I thought Riza's involvement was undeniable at this point.
That may be true, but we still don't have the whole picture. We don't know if others are involved, or his reasons. I just want to know why.
I see. Well, after reading up on this whole situation and hearing both of your accounts, I believe Dayzee is trustworthy. Nevertheless, I think Dayzee presents a great risk.
Why is that?
After this meeting, I will hold a press conference to inform the public of the current situation. The people must know of the danger posed by Riza. No matter what Bryce and I think about your involvement, the public could feel differently. You, me, and Bryce will have to face the backlash resulting from this information becoming public. No more, Dayzee. You might be in real danger yourself. Riza himself may come to silence you once he learns you're helping us, or consider the public uproar from those who would question your involvement. All things considered, it would be best for you to return to your own world until the situation has been resolved.
I came to the very same conclusion, Minister.
Then, with your support, this is what shall be done. Please don't. You don't agree?
If you send me back now, this diplomatic relationship is over. I'd have to admit defeat to humanity, and there's no way I can return without your generators, our PDAs, or Riza.
Maybe you could explain what a great choice of an ambassador Riza was.
But I was his partner, so in a way he is my responsibility. I can't just go back like this.
I'm afraid that's not enough. It certainly doesn't outweigh the reasoning for sending you home.
Just let me explain, I'll tell you everything. Years ago, our world was prosperous. Our technology was far more advanced than yours, even. Computers not only graced every household, but every single person. It was the age of information. Even children had power to access the most advanced knowledge at their fingertip. With our PDAs, our interconnectedness with other people and our environment was greater than ever. From locomotion to repetitive work and household chores, many processes were automated to such degree that except for our jobs and hobbies, there was nothing left that needed to be done by a person anymore. Even the concept of someone wielding a weapon was outdated, as wars were no longer fought by people but machines. Looking back, it was probably the most single prosperous time in humanity. Exploitation of the environment and people was at an all-time low, as was crime. Conversely, our technological advancements have drastically increased the quality of life. Humans were no longer required for strenuous and repetitive tasks. Education had reached an all-time high and many new jobs were created. General happiness had reached levels never before seen. Yet one day everything changed. A solar flare that was headed for Earth was detected by an automated monitoring system. It was determined to be so powerful it dwarfed all others in even ever recorded history. We had less than a week to prepare. Chaos hit earlier than that, as people scrambled to shield themselves and possessions from incoming ion storm. On a worldwide level, power lines were switched off, satellites were reoriented in space, and planes grounded to mitigate effects that would hit us. Despite humanity's contingency plan for such events and efforts, we were still not prepared for the sheer magnitude of the solar flare that arrived. It was only then, when our race became so dependent on technology, that we were immeasurably vulnerable against this kind of disaster. That day, a force with the power of 10 billion Hiroshima bombs was unleashed to an atmosphere. The eyewitness reports from that day were verified. They were terrifying. Eyewitness reports from this day were verified as they were terrifying. A huge, beautiful aurora could be seen on the horizon before fireballs hurtled across the sky. Some places these lights became so bright that even those asleep at night awoke as though the day had already arrived. A coronal mass ejection by itself did not have the power to kill anyone directly, but the side effects were disastrous. After the lights in the sky arrived, sparks showered from electrical outlets everywhere, igniting rampant fires in every town and city. Facilities that stored weapons, fireworks, and other explosives became the center of widespread destruction and loss of life. During the next stage, solar flares started to affect body modification and cause commonplace pacemakers and nanomachines to fail. 15% of the world's population died as a result of this alone. Fuck! Once the full power of the waves hit us, however, society as we knew it collapsed in one fell swoop. The power grids on Earth shut down in an instant, as did all the machines that automated our routine tasks. Long-distance communication and transportation became a thing of the past. Without electrical power, the quality of healthcare plummeted. Water and sewage systems were crippled. Diseases we thought defeated centuries ago made their comebacks in an almost unsightly fashion. Many thought the end of the world had arrived. In a way, it had. Some people blamed whoever their belief systems would allow, angry at gods that had forsaken them. Others pointed their fingers at our lifestyle and society. Not that anyone was listening. Practically, we were back in the Middle Ages. Government collapsed and we were overthrown. And the ensuing power vacuums filled with groups of people that were sometimes organized and sometimes not. Few functioning electronic devices left became rare, sought after artifacts, which battles and even wars were fought. Of course, there were also wars over resources and territory. The weaponry used was improved or reclaimed from the days when humans had been present on the battlefield. It had been ages, but people returned to the old bloody ways of war. Humanity is in shambles now. Those that I'd call family and friends now live with me in a giant, mostly self-sufficient city-state of survivors. A huge wall around the perimeter, guarded by militia, prevents any outside interference. It's the only way we can retain a mediocre of order. Gangs of raiders and looters run rampant outside. They wouldn't hesitate to kill first and ask questions later if they had known about my PDA. Our contained community has flourished for years now. We have homes to live in, crops to grow, and livestock to raise. We still have our own automated hospital that runs on salvage generators. Lately, though, supplies have started to run low, and dangerously so. The power we have is running out. Illnesses are spreading through the city, and treatment isn't available as it used to be. Our population is dropping by the day. We took a great risk to increase the radius of our scouting missions, desperate to find something outside the walls that could help us. You already know the rest of the story. We found the portal in you. Now you know why this whole thing is so important to me. All of our hope lies in acquiring the generators you promised us. The act of sending Riza and me here has without a doubt already cost the lives of some people back at home. Beyond the city walls is a dead zone. We haven't heard from any other settlements for months now. The state of the rest of our world is unknown. When Riza and I were sent here, my peers made it clear that this was our last chance. If anything happens to us, no more people will be sent. We can't manage to bring back something that will help. We'll have sealed the fate of tens of thousands that live in our city. I'm sorry, Dayzee. I did not know. If what you're telling me is true, then it unfortunately does not work in your favor. As sad as your situation may be, it gives Riza a motive. Desperate times call for desperate measures, after all. In that vein, it also gives you a motive. Considering the gravity of humanity's plight, it gives you more the reason to collaborate with him. I'm not. What Riza is doing is wrong. You can't send me away under these circumstances because I'm your best bet at finding him. Even so, you'd be in grave danger after we announce Riza's involvement in the murders. I cannot and will not take responsibility for the consequences when I know of the risk. What about our deal, then? In the wake of this new information, as a sign of goodwill, we will send the generators you are owed through the portal once this is over, under 2 conditions. Humanity must condemn Riza's actions, and we must reclaim the stolen PDAs. I've changed my mind. You should let Dayzee stay here. I cannot take your word under consideration in this matter, Chief. Taking into account Maverick's actions and your responsibility for them, you will have to be dealt with separately. With my authority as minister in charge of the humans' visit, my decision is to have Dayzee sent back to the human world through the portal. Please. Immediately. Chief, please arrange for an escort to take Dayzee to the portal now. I could do it myself, Minister. Well, we have our own matters to discuss, Chiefs, and I would rather get this over with as quickly as possible. In that case, one of my officers should be here at any moment. I arrange for him to meet us here. How handy, then. Then let us wait for this officer of yours. It didn't take long for Sebastian to arrive. After the situation was explained, he was visibly shocked, but he didn't protest when he was given the task of sending me back through the portal. Let's go, Dayzee. I don't even get to say goodbye. Let us not waste any more time. You will still be free to send letters after you have arrived on the other side. Just go, Dayzee. Come on, then. Man, that was fucked up. Bro, we were silent as Sebastian and I slowly made our way to the portal. With each step I took, I drew closer and closer to the hopelessness awaiting me in the ruins of the human world. All in all, I certainly had a unique experience alongside these dragons, and although this place was filled with just as much drama and murder as back home, I would remember this world and the people I met. I would fondly think back to the days I spent here in their comfortable standard of living. A shadow of how humanity used to be. Even without generators, at the very least I'd be returning home with a few life lessons.
What's going on here?
Austin thought I hadn't noticed Adine approach.
It's none of your concern, please leave.
I can't even get a few minutes before I go.
It's supposed nobody's stopping us, but make it quick.
Hey, Dayzee, what's going on here?
Something serious happened and looks like I have to leave.
Right now? Why?
It was the minister's decision, not mine. You'll hear about it soon enough.
Does this have anything to do with what I've been hearing? Is Riza really a murderer?
I'm afraid so.
Well, what does that make you?
I don't have anything to do with that. I was helping the police find him.
Then why are you leaving?
They don't want me to stay here. With all this going on, it's for my own safety.
Well, it was nice to get to know you, at least.
Likewise. I guess I should get going.
Goodbye, Dayzee.
Goodbye, Adine.
I remember her. That was a witness from Riza's first murder. Did you know her?
Yes.
I see.
Man. A few minutes later, we arrived at the portal, standing proud as ever in defiance of the elements. How many years has the structure survived before it was found?
I hope I can remember how this thing works.
Are you joking?
Yeah, sorry, I got it.
Alright, I suppose it's time for us to say goodbye.
Let's keep it professional. I don't like mixed personal matters with work.
He looked away and I shrugged. Go ahead and turn it on then.
Would you stand between the pillars, please?
Of course. Oh, is this for real how we end it? What the? Did I do something wrong? I took my place and stared towards the horizon while I thought about what would happen now in this world and others. Even if I made a break for it, I'd become a fugitive no better than Riza. It would appear near impossible to investigate this case by myself while on the run, in a world I knew so little about. At the very least, I took comfort in the fact that I did everything I could to help, even if it turned out like this. Nevertheless, I dreaded going back empty-handed and returning to my old life in our ruined city. Any second now, the teleportation process would start disintegrating my body before I would appear on the other side, back in my dying world. I wondered if there was any risk of getting lost somewhere between worlds. We didn't really know how the portals worked after all. Maybe I'd be flung somewhere in space-time, or it might affect my body in some way. I didn't notice any unusual changes in my body since I arrived in the dragon's world, but I had no way of knowing if there were potential long-term side effects. I still remember the images I saw when I teleported for the first time, the vivid sights and patterns, people and situations I have recognized since then. It only took a moment to arrive on the other side of the portal, yet I felt like I had dreamed 1,000 dreams. And during the nights I spent here, these dreams often reappeared. Anytime now, I would undergo the same experience again. I was almost relieved that my venture was over. Things had turned out far differently than I expected. I evaded danger, got swept into a murder investigation, and met incredible, intelligent beings from several different species. It had certainly been a time to remember. And with that, I closed my eyes and braced myself for the moment that would come any second now. But that moment never came. The next thing that did happen was that I heard Sebastian's voice.
It's not working.
Oh, fuck. Are you joking again?
No, really, it's not working. Wait, what is this?
Oh no, somebody smashed it.
It's broken.
Can you fix it?
I don't think so. This doesn't look like a simple act of vandalism. It looks like someone's parts were torn out.
Guess it means I'm not leaving, huh?
Not yet, at least.
Well, what do we do now?
Let's head back. The chief has to know about this right away.
We were back at the ministry before long. Imra and Bryce were still outside as Remy approached the two of them. Here are the case files, Imra.
Why, thank you.
Dayzee and an officer. What is this about, Imra?
That is what I would like to know. Please, officer, enlighten me. Why has my order not been carried out?
The portal is broken.
Is broken.
Yeah, it looks like someone tampered with it and stole parts. I couldn't even get the interface to turn on.
I'll check it out once I am done here. I suppose Dayzee will stay with us for longer after all. Seeing as this is an emergency situation, I will make this short. Chief, as a result of your carelessness regarding Maverick and Riza, you are temporarily removed from any duties related to the humans. Given these dangerous times, you will instead serve as my personal escort until further notice. Considering the circumstances, you will be allowed to coordinate the investigation of the portal, but after that you are to immediately return to me and start your new task. Understood? Understood. Then all of you are dismissed. She turned to leave, Remy trailing after her. Alright, let's head to the portal. That includes you, Dayzee. Of course. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a sheet of paper on the ground. Hey, what's this? Imra probably dropped one of the case files.
Yeah, her assistant.
You better bring that to her. Sebastian and I shall hurry to the portal. Meet us there afterward, okay? Sure. I picked up the sheet and started reading. It was about what happened when I met Riza at the portal. Of course, it didn't say anything I already didn't know. As I walked up the stairs, I wondered if it was okay for an unauthorized person to enter the building. All I knew about this place is what Imra worked here. I did have an important document that was going to be missed, so I walked inside only to be greeted by an empty lobby. Luckily, there were some signs directing me to Imra's office. It didn't take long to find it. I heard voices when I approached the door. By the way, what happened to the scroll you brought me this morning? The last time I saw it did not have that tear. I dropped it. Tell me something new for once. Okay, someone else dropped it. Am I supposed to believe that? Remy, are you aware how much this costs? Repairing and replacing artifacts is not cheap. I'm afraid we'll have to deduct this from your wage again. I see. You are not doing this on purpose, are you? Of course not. You have been working for me for a long time now. I expect you to learn at some point, but you are very resistant to do so. Not wanting to listen to this any longer, I decided to knock. There was a few seconds of silence. Please come in. Only opened the door long enough to hand Remy the sheet of paper. I think you dropped this outside. After I closed the door and started to walk away, I heard the voices resume. This is one more case file you requested. You must have dropped it. Then why was it left outside? As my assistant, you should have paid more attention. If this got in the wrong hands, someone could get in trouble. Man, she is an absolute bitch. I hope she's the next to be murdered. I made my way back to the portal and arrived shortly after Bryce and Sebastian. Well, I can confirm that it's not turning on.
Yeah, I told you that already.
I just wanted to be sure.
You really think it would still work with the chunk ripped out of it?
Hey, I'm not an engineer. We don't know how the portal works. It was worth another try. There you are, Dayzee. What do you make of this? I'm afraid I don't know any more than you do. I'm not an engineer either.
In that case, we should start thinking about the who and when.
There are patrols assigned to the portal and surrounding area day and night. If someone tampered with the portal, they must have seen something. The Day patrol did not notice anything unusual though.
I guess she just missed the part about the portal being vandalized.
It'd be easy to overlook. It's a small part of the machine. It's not like she was expecting to check every square inch of it, each lap around the area.
What about night patrol then?
I went over the reports this morning. I noticed Night Patrol hadn't handed in theirs yet.
And who was patrolling last night?
Let me think a minute. The schedule always goes in certain order, so last night would have been What is it? Oh. The night patrol for last night would have been Maverick. I got wrapped up in all the recent chaos and I got to find a replacement when he went on sick leave. Fuck! Bryce!
How are you gonna fuck up that bad? This is bad, Bryce!
Maybe Imra was right to take me off the case.
So there was no night guard here at all?
That's right. Whoever it was has an easy time doing whatever they wanted.
Could it have been Maverick? If he knew no one was going to be here, he could have used that knowledge to his advantage.
He couldn't have known I'd forget to find a replacement though. I don't usually slip up like this.
What about Riza?
Why would he have done it? He'd be cutting off his only way out.
No, he'd be doing something smart. If he had a part needed to get the portal working again, he's controlling who gets to use it. He's cutting off our ability to communicate with mankind.
We wouldn't be able to inform them of Riza's actions.
Maybe we shouldn't have kept the investigation secret for so long.
If your theory is true, that would be proof Riza's actions are his own, not humanity's.
Hey, I already trust you on that.
Or it's a stunt to grant humanity plausible deniability.
No way, things are too dire for the humans to take such an extraordinary risk, especially for that.
I'm sure that wouldn't be the only reason they'd benefit, though. There must be something we're not aware of.
Maybe we're looking at this from the wrong angle. If no one was here to guard the portal, anyone couldn't have broken it. It doesn't necessarily have to do with Riza or Maverick.
But they still have the greatest motives.
Sure, but they definitely aren't the only ones to have one. There could be private groups who are interested in technology or its significance as a human artifact.
So that puts us exactly nowhere.
At least, as far as speculations are concerned, it's time for forensics to show up anyway. Let's hope they can pull some clues from all of this. Sebastian, can you take it from here? You have been just as dedicated to the case as I have. Since I have to be at the minister's side for a while, I'd like you to take charge of the investigation for now.
Thanks, Chief, I won't let you down.
What's up with that anyway? Being appointed as Imra's bodyguard as punishment seems strange to me.
Are you kidding? I could have lost my job. This is the way better outcome. Honestly, she probably did it for her own sake more than anything else, but I'm not complaining. If that is all, I'm going to head to the ministry. I shouldn't keep her waiting.
So what does that make you now? Temporary chief?
More like case leader. By the way, you won't need to stick around while Forensic does their job. Thanks for your help. I assume you can find your way back to your apartment?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, I'll see you later then.
See you. I considered spending my time roaming the town, but decided it would be best to keep myself out of the spotlight. After cooking myself a rudimentary meal, I considered picking up another book when the doorbell rang.
Hey, Dayzee!
Hey, Sebastian, do you need my help again?
We're just a small town police department, and with Bryce removed from the case, our resources are even thinner than ever.
I understand, so what do you have for me?
First up is the primary witness for the latest murder, Damien, the victim's assistant. He was the one who found their body. A few things have changed since this morning as we got some additional information from Forensic that warrants further questioning. I know you know the victim personally, so I don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'll leave the choice to you. You can find your assistant at the production facility. You seem interested in that underground building near the portal. I realize you might have actually been able to help with that. Since it's suspected to be of human origin, your opinion would be greatly appreciated.
I guess I should add archaeologist to my resume.
Maybe human matters consultant would be more appropriate.
Do you really think it's okay for me to tamper with your priceless discoveries?
Or you want to go there in person, I just want you to take a look at the collected information in the archives and give us your opinion. Besides, no one is allowed to visit at the moment. The building is old and unstable, and there is danger of collapsing or flooding. Obviously, we don't want either of those to happen. Flooding? Yes, the whole building is underground, and we've determined that there is a rather large pocket of water surrounding it. Any kind of disturbance could endanger everything and everyone inside. I see. We also located another witness for the latest murder. A store clerk reported seeing a head and hearing something. It's probably worth asking him a few questions. Got it. Here are all the details. Visit me at the apartment once you're done. Sure thing. It was interesting that they still relied on me for their investigations, even after they tried to send me back to my world. I didn't expect them to allow me to help with police matters after everything that had happened. Now that the possibility of sending me back was eliminated, the advantage of having me on their side apparently outweighed the risk, though I had to wonder who would have me to be more careful from now on. What should I do? Alright, a lot of shit happened. Alright, so, we had Riza is now a serial killer. Rest in peace, Anna. You were bitchy, but you were smart. Anyway, somebody full on just fucked up the thing. Bryce really screwed the pooch on that one. Like, that was the biggest fuck up I think you could have had in this situation. Anyway, things are starting to get a little spicy. You know, we learned about, more about our culture. I figured when we first started it was happening in like our modern age time, but it seems like it's far, far in a dystopian future. So, this is making it a little more interesting. I'll be so eager to see what's going on next. Anyway, if you like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. Also, while you're here, if you have any game suggestions or you just want to say hi, leave it in the comment section below. I'm Dayzee Hyena, and I'll catch you on the next vid.